Hi, welcome to Candyfloss Crochet, and today we're going to run through the treble crochet stitch. That's a UK treble. In America it's called a double crochet. So I've done a few little examples here just so you can get a feel for what they look like, and I just wanted to run through before we get started a few of the terminology on them. So just so you know, at the top you have your standard V's, which you'd expect to see in most stitches, and these are called posts. So each one of these are posts, and when you count your stitches you need to count your V's and not necessarily your posts. Okay, on this one I chained 15, and then when I turned in the third chain from my hook, which is my turning chain here, and I've put a stitch marker there because that is my very last stitch. Now it might seem really obvious at this stage that that is my last stitch, but when you start working backwards, especially if it's a long piece of work, and depending on your tension, you might lose that last one, and if you don't go into the very last stitch, your edges won't be nice and straight. Okay, I'm using a 4mm hook, and the yarn I'm using today is Stylecraft Special DK in Wisteria. I've got a spare stitch marker, and I'll show you what I'm going to do with that one in a second. I'm going to insert my hook, and I'm going to get my tension. And when you turn on a treble, you chain 3, 1, 2, 3. That builds up the height of your stitch, and you turn your work. Okay. And to do a treble stitch, you yarn over first, insert your hook into the first space, yarn over, pull through, 3 loops on your hook, yarn over, pull through, 2, yarn over, pull through, 2, and that's your very first treble. And what I'm going to do at this point, so that I know where I'm going into, I'm going to put my stitch marker in here into my very first stitch. So when I work backwards, I know that is my very last stitch. Okay, so get my tension again. Let's do the next one. So we're going into this V here. Ooh, catch it. So into this hole here, into this V there. Okay, so yarn over first, insert your hook, yarn over, pull through the stitch, 3 loops on your hook, yarn over, pull through 2, 2 loops on your hook, yarn over, pull through the last 2. Okay, let's do that again. So yarn over, insert your hook into the next stitch, yarn over, pull through that stitch. I've got 3 loops on my hook, yarn over, pull through the first 2, 2 loops left, yarn over, pull through the last 2. Now at this point you can see this stitch here slightly taller than the one before it, and that's because my tension is slightly different. What I tend to do then is give it a little tug, put in my tension, and that will bring it in line with the others. So yarn over, insert, yarn over, pull through, 3 loops on your hook, yarn over, pull through 2, 2 loops, yarn over, pull through the last 2. Let's go again. So yarn over, insert, yarn over, pull through, yarn over, pull through 2 loops, yarn over, pull through the last 2, little tug, yarn over, insert, yarn over, pull through, yarn over, pull through 2, yarn over, pull through 2. Now I tend to crochet quite loosely, but if you crochet quite tightly you probably won't need to pull on your yarn to pull that stitch into line. You might find that naturally it's tight, but I tend to crochet quite loose, hence I do that. So I'm working all the way along these V's in the top. I'm going in the gap here with each one, and I'm yarning over first. So yarn over, insert, yarn over, pull through, 3 loops, yarn over, pull through 2, 2 loops, yarn over, pull through 2, 2 loops, yarn over, insert, yarn over, pull through, 3 loops, yarn over, pull through 2, 2 loops, yarn over, pull through 2. I'm coming near the end now. And as you can see, I've got my stitch marker into my very last stitch. To make sure I don't miss it, because it is sometimes quite difficult to see. It also depends on the type of yarn you're using and the colour that you use. So my very last one, I'm going to take my stitch marker out so I know where I'm going. Yarn over, insert, yarn over, pull through, yarn over, pull through 2, yarn over, pull through 2. So that's giving me a nice straight edge on that edge there. We've got to the end of our row now. We're on to the second row. We're going to do the third row. So chain 3, turn your work. You're going into this very first hole here. So yarn over, insert, yarn over, pull through, yarn over, pull through 2, yarn over, pull through 2. I'm going to get my stitch marker again, find my V, pop that in. I know exactly where I'm going to work into. So yarn over, insert into the next stitch, yarn over, pull through, 3 loops, yarn over, pull through 2, yarn over, pull through 2, and you keep going all the way along. It builds quite quickly, a treble crochet. It's quite a nice stitch to work, and you'll find on a treble crochet is one of the most popular stitches. Most patterns or most items you make, granny squares, majority of them will use a treble crochet. So what you'll find is you'll soon get really quick at doing a treble. Work all the way along. So yarn over, insert, yarn over, pull through, 3 loops on your hook, yarn over, pull through 2, yarn over, pull through 2, yarn over, insert, yarn over, pull through, yarn over, pull through 2, yarn over, pull through 2. What I find is quite helpful is if you notice I twist my hook as I go. So I start off with yarning over, I turn it down and in so that the back of the hook is going through the stitch. When I come through, I'm twisting it up facing me, and I'm twisting and turning it towards me, which grabs that yarn, pulls it through, back up again, hooking that next yarn through, twisting it towards me so that the hook doesn't catch on these loops as I go through. They're going through at the underside of them. Pull through my 2, twisting back up, yarn over, twisting back down and pulling straight through. Nearly at my very last stitch. Last but one. And I've reached my last stitch marker. So as you can see, it's quite evident on this because I've done it quite loosely for you, but sometimes it can be quite difficult to see. So I'm going to pop out that stitch marker, and I'm going to go to my very last stitch. As you will see, that gives you a nice straight sides on those stitches as you go through. And that's a treble crochet. Thank you for watching.